Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the event of the day. It is a small commemorative decoration for Labor Day, and we'll be creating this together. Now, I will be with you every step of the way, narrating as we go along. So go ahead and pour out those wonderful supplies that have been delivered to your suite. They should be in a small bag, and it's just a few things to get you started and on your way. Now, after this broadcast, I will rebroadcast the entire video so that if you missed anything, you can go ahead and just catch up with everything. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Alrighty, so let's get started with our bag of supplies. Yay! Let's go ahead and take all those things out if you haven't already. We'll first start with our blank note card, and this is just a generic note card that I found at the dollar store. Also, we're going to dig in and grab out our pencil, and it's okay if you just want to dump these things in. I'm just taking them out one by one. This is our pencil. It has a nice eraser where we can press down. And the next thing is, of course, our little cuts of tissue paper, red, white, and blue, of course, for Labor Day. And we'll just separate out those colors. I'm going to take the time to go ahead and separate out the white from the blue from the red. We'll get those into 3 separate piles. This way it'll make it nice and easy when we want to put everything together. So here we are, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. We're ready to go. Now the last supply that we have that was not in your bag is the little pot of glue. I'm going to open it up for you just to get things ready, and our camera is going to focus. There we go. And what we're going to do is use that to dip the pencil, and then we'll apply pressure, and I'll show you that in just a bit. So let's get everything out of the way so I can get things set up for you. All right, so we are starting with our card, and you can open it up to get it more flat. I'm just gonna leave it folded just so that I can get a little bit more pressure. I'm gonna keep my pencil in hand and gather all of my papers together, blue, white, and red. But I'm gonna start with blue because we're gonna start in that upper left corner. And as you can see, I'm just wrapping the end of the pencil with the eraser side, and I'm gonna take the glue. Then I'm going to go ahead and dip lightly, just lightly, and then see how that has a little bit excess glue on there. So we're going to take the edge, of the glue pod and just scrape a little bit off, and then we're going to apply pressure. We're going to hold that on for just 10 seconds, and while we're holding it, we're going to go ahead and floof out those ends. And look, it stands right up. Now, I'm going to take the next piece of pre-cut paper and wrap it around again. Make sure you're doing this on the eraser end of the pencil so it's nice and soft. It's not too hard and it doesn't poke through. We dip it lightly in the glue. It's going to pick up a little bit more than we really need. So you're going to just lightly scrape some of that glue off on the side and then sneak it right on top, right into the next one, and hold it there for just about 10 seconds, give or take. And usually I'll just fluff up the ends just a tiny bit. And there you have our first flower. It looks like a little floof. Yay! So we are on our way and getting started. Boy, I love this already. So going through again, what I'm doing is going ahead and wrapping the eraser end of the pencil with the blue tissue paper, dipping it in to the glue, dragging off the excess, and then I'll sneak right as close as I can to that first blue flower floof, and just hold it on, of course, for just about 10 seconds, give or take, as long as you can hold it down. And then floof it out just a bit, and voila! We've started our second floof. We're gonna, of course, add that second layer, so go ahead and wrap that pencil end. And you can do this very, very gently. Don't think you have to rush anything. Just sneak in that second layer. Hold it down there. I'm going to gently floof out that second layer and hold it in there. And voila, I'm excited. This is starting to look good. It's the top of our flag. And so, of course, the blue is on the top left-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and wrap another pre-cut tissue paper and use a little bit of that excess. Sure, why not? Because it's just a tiny dot. Now we're going to sneak that little piece right next to the two first pieces just to get things going. Holding it there for just a few seconds, maybe 8 seconds, maybe 12. Floof it out just a little bit. And it sticks nicely. Oh, this is looking nice. I'm going to add that second layer in. And don't feel like you have to rush. Take your time. Sneak in those pieces. Be as gentle as you can, but when you hold it down, hold firm. That way, when you release it, it stays put. Oh, perfect. I love it. Moving on to the next. Go ahead and wrap the end of that pencil again. Dip it into the glue just gently. Drag off that bit of excess. Now we're sneaking in. Oh yeah, hold it down. Now I'm going to flute this out just a touch because I want to be able to get that second layer in. Yep. And one last piece. And after this piece, it will complete the top left corner. We won't need any more blue pieces after this. It'll all be red and white. So I'm really excited for this because this is the top left corner, usually where you'll put, the stars. But since this is such a small decoration, we're just going to make it blue. So now I'm moving in the red, going ahead and getting ready to make that first stripe across the top, and then alternating with white and then red and then white and then red. So we'll make a few rows and see how many come out. So now I'm going to go ahead and wrap with a red tissue paper on the end and go ahead and dip that into the glue, drag off the excess, and then sneak it as close as you can to that blue floof at the top left and just hold it. And is it sticking? Yeah, floof it out. Yep, it sticks. It's looking good. So we're just going to work like that together. It's the same thing over and over again. Just dipping it into the glue, dragging off the excess, and then sneaking it right in where you need it and holding it for just a few seconds. Maybe while giving it a little fluff or two. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let the music play while we get into the flow of things. And of course, I will continue just demonstrating how you wrap the end. Yep, fluff it up there a little bit. Gently dip it into the glue. And then sneak it right next to the next floof or sneak in the second layer wherever you are with it and hold it down for just a few seconds. So now that we've got our first row done, or at least I've gotten mine done, take your time if you haven't gotten yours done. But I'm going to move on to the white slips of paper and go ahead and start the next row. So I'm just going to dip it into the glue, of course, tap off that excess, and right next to the blue and underneath the red, I'm going to start the row of white floofs. And I'm already so excited, I can barely contain myself, but I'm floofing out this little first white flower, and it held up very nicely. So I'm going to put in the second layer just by wrapping the end of the pencil on the eraser side, as you know. Go ahead and dip it in the glue, take off the excess and sneak it right on in there. Hold it down for just about 10 seconds. Go ahead and send those floofs back up because you're gonna want room to squeeze in the next floof right next to it. So just holding it down, release. Perfect. It's looking good. So now we're just getting that second row started. The white stripe of our red and white stripes. Going ahead and sneak in that next floof right up next to the next one, or the last one I should say, and floofing out just so that we can get ready for that second layer going in. So I'll once again go ahead and let the music play while we continue making our fabulous decoration. Well, I don't know about you, but this has been pretty calming for me. And I'm almost done with the first white stripe. Ooh, sneaking it in there. Gonna hold it down firmly. I'm almost done with this first white stripe. So I'm just gonna hold that second layer down and allow it to get that stickiness going. Release, and yeah, I think it did pretty well. I think I can sneak one more floof on there on the end. I'm gonna see if I can get one more. Let's see. Yep, I could tuck it right in there. Perfect. I'm just gonna hold it down. I'm hoping this other floof doesn't pop off. Yep, but I think I have room, and I know that it can seem like a very small space, but you can get a lot of floofs on a very small card, which is why I chose this size of card, because it can be overwhelming if you get too big of a card. So I'm really glad that I got a small card. You get a couple of stripes on, and then you're done. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. So I think we're off to a really good start. Things are sticking, they're not sliding, they're fluffy, floofy. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the next red stripe. If you're not there yet, don't worry, take your time. We've got plenty of time to get the floofs to stick. Now I'm going to sneak this next layer right up under the blue and just hold it on just for about 10 seconds, give or take. Floof out just a little bit to get ready for that second layer that'll be headed in. Yep. And grab that next sheet of pre-cut tissue paper, wrap it around the eraser end, dip it in, tap off the excess, and sneak her in there. But by now, you all have gotten the hang of things. It's just a matter of getting into the flow and then allowing yourself to enjoy making something really beautiful for your home, you know? So I'll go ahead and let the music play again while we get these next two stripes on. All right, so I'm just getting to the end of my second red stripe. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this in the glue, tap off the excess, and stick it right there. Hold it, and make sure that it sticks nice and firm. And I think, oh, wait, I lost one of my red flutes. Ah! Oh well. So I'll show you what to do in a few moments. In case you lose a floof, usually that happens because there was too much glue on the paper and it wasn't able to fully adhere to the card. So I'm going to just finish this last floof. Go ahead and hold that on really quick there. This is where 10 seconds can feel like an eternity because you're like, I want to get that snaggly floof out of there. Look at my little snag-a-floof flag. All right, I'm going to solve that right now. So I'm going to wrap the end just to be careful. Yep. I'm going to wrap a larger piece. I think that piece was a little too small. So I'm just going to go ahead and dip it into the glue, and then of course drag off any excess, and then sneak it in very, very, very kind of gently. There we go. Just to hold it there for a few minutes. I hope you can see this. I'm holding it down. I'm going to floof out gently as possible, because I know I want to put in that second layer. So I want to make sure that this piece actually sticks really well. All right, let's see if we can stick in that second layer. And then we can determine if we can fit another white stripe. I think we can. That's why I'm trying to make sure that all of these red floofs are really, really well stuck to the card. And yes, I think we were able to do it. Yay! It looks so nice, but it's missing something. It's missing that last white stripe. So now, if you are a left-handed and you think that this might be easier done from the vertical side, you just flip it around. And if you're right-handed, you can flip it so that it's easier to apply for the right hand. I'm just going to go ahead and continue working in the same way that I have been working. But if you find that it's easier to turn the card and then apply it that way, by all means, go right ahead. I'm going to see if I can sneak it. Yep, I think it'll stick. So let me go ahead and let the music play again. And you keep going as well. And we'll get this decoration taken care of in just a few moments. Well, everybody, I was doing the best I could, but it looks like I lost another red floof. Aw, that's okay. I'll repair it a little bit later. But I'm hoping that everyone is having a nice, calm, and relaxing time. I'm going to pull that red floof off to the side and repair it just a little later. I'm going to continue with my white stripe just to stay in this calm, zen, wonderful place. You know, if you lose a floof, you can always replace it. No problem. Well, so here we are. I'm almost done. I'm putting the last touches on my last and final floof. It's going to be on that bottom right-hand corner. Holding it down for 10 seconds, floofing it out. I'm so excited. I can barely wait. Oh my goodness. Woo, one more. Yay. All right. And then I may or may not go back and repair that last floof that fell off, because as it stands, as you can see, it kind of actually looks rather nice. Still without that red floof, it doesn't look like there was one missing. So I don't have, as it were, a snaggle floof. Yeah, I'm just gonna look. Nah, I think it looks okay. So there you have it, a beautiful small commemorative decoration that's relaxing and calming to make. And I hope you enjoyed making your own commemorative decoration with me. Thanks so much for joining me. Oh, I love this. I'm going to put this underneath my vase. So cute.